The Story of Civilization, Part 2, The Life of Greece, being a history of Greek civilization from the beginnings and of civilization in the Near East from the death of Alexander to the Roman conquest, with an introduction on the prehistoric culture of Crete by Will Durant. Chapter 7, The Greeks in the West, Part 4, From Italy to Spain. 20 miles north of Elea lay the city of Poseidonia, the Roman Paestum, founded by colonists from Sybaris as the main Italian terminus of Milesian trade. Today, one reaches it by a pleasant ride from Naples through Salerno, suddenly by the roadside. Amid a deserted field, 3 temples appear, majestic even in their desolation. For the river, by blocking its own mouth here, with centuries of silt, has long since turned this once healthy valley into a swamp, and even the reckless race that tills the slopes of Vesuvius has fled in despair from these malarial plains. Fragments of the ancient walls remain, but better preserved, as if by solitude, are the shrines that the Greeks raised, in modest limestone, but almost perfect form, to the so-called gods of the grain and the sea. The oldest of the buildings, lately called the Basilica, was more likely a temple to Poseidon. Men who owed their living to the fruit and commerce of the Mediterranean dedicated it to him towards the middle of this amazing 6th century BCE, which created great art, literature, and philosophy from Italy to Shantung. The inner as well as the outer colonnades remain and attest the columnar passion of the Greeks. The following generation built a smaller temple, also historically simple and strong. We call it the Temple of Charis, but we do not know which entity was being offered to, with the savor of its offerings. A yet later generation, just before or after the Persian War, erected the greatest and best proportioned of the 3 temples, probably also to Poseidon, fittingly enough, since from its porticos one gazes into the inviting face of the treacherous sea. Again, almost everything is columns. A powerful and complete Doric peristyle, without and within a 2-storied colonnade that once upheld a roof. Here is one of the most impressive sights in Italy. It seems incredible that this temple, better preserved than anything built by the Romans, was the work of Greeks almost 5 centuries before, who most people call Christ, are the period that they put for Christ. Really, you're dealing with at least 4 historical figures. Died anywhere from 80 BCE to 100 of the Common Era, but, we can imagine something of the beauty and vitality of a community that had both the resources and the taste to raise such centers for its religious life, and then we can conjure up less inadequately the splendor of richer and vaster cities like Miletus, Samos, Ephesus, Crotona, Sybaris, and Syracuse, slightly north of where Naples stands today. Adventurers from Chalkis, Erectria, Euboean, Cuma, and Graia, founded about 750 BCE, the greater port of Cuma, oldest of Greek towns in the west, taking the products of eastern Greece and selling them in central Italy. Cumaa rapidly acquired wealth, colonized and controlled Rhegium, obtained command of the Straits of Messina, and excluded from them are subjected to heavy tolls the vessels of the cities not leagued with it in trade. Spreading southward, the Cumaans founded Dicaarchia, which became the Roman port of Puteoli, it was also known as, and Neapolis, our new city, our Naples. From these colonies, Greek ideas, as well as goods, passed into the crude young city of Rome, and northward into Etruria. At Cumaa, the Romans picked up several Greek gods, Apollo and Heracles especially, and bought for more than they were worth the scrolls in which the Cumaan Cybele, the aged priestess of Apollo, had foretold the future of Rome. And copies of whatever religious path you're on, or something that supports your path, are certainly important, but they shouldn't, use your situation that, they really want this, I'm going to raise the price. Near the beginning of the 6th century BCE, the Phocaeans of Ionia landed on the southern shore of France, founded Massalia, Marseille, and carried the Greek products up the Rhone and its branches as far as Arles and Nimes. They made friends and wives of the natives, introduced the olive and the vine as gifts to France, and so familiarized southern Gaul with Greek civilization that Rome found it easy to spread its kindred culture there in Caesar's time. Ranging along the coast to the east, the Phocaeans established Antipolis, also known as Antibes, Nicaea, also known as Nice, and Monoecus, also known as Monaco. Westward they ventured into Spain and built the towns of Roda, also known as Rosas, Emporium, also known as Emporias, Hemeroscopium, and Manaka, near Malaga. The Greeks in Spain flourished for a while by exploiting the silver mines of Tartessus, but in 535 BCE, the Carthaginians and the Etruscans combined their forces to destroy the Phocaean fleet, and from that time, Greek power in the western Mediterranean waned.